Medieval castles have always been symbols of power, strength, and wealth. These majestic structures rose above towns and villages, inspiring both fear and respect. Yet behind their massive walls and towering spires lay not only luxury and defense. Castles concealed dozens of secrets, mysteries, and tales of the supernatural that have survived to this day. One of the most fascinating features of castles was their secret passages and hidden rooms. Some were designed for a quick escape during a siege or attack, while others served as hidden storage for treasures, weapons, and important documents. These passages were carefully concealed. Hidden doors blended seamlessly into stone walls. Staircases led to invisible rooms, and underground tunnels could stretch for hundreds of meters beneath the earth. Life within a castle was governed by strict rules and routines. Knights, servants, alchemists, and courtiers lived under a strict schedule, guarding not only the walls but also the secrets that the castle had held for centuries. Every part of the castle had a purpose. From arrow slits for defense to grand halls for feasts, from kitchens and storage rooms to secret chambers for safeguarding valuables. Secret passages could serve multiple functions, connecting towers, rescuing prisoners, or helping family members escape during emergencies. Legends surrounding castles were always filled with mystery and fear. Tales of ghosts, strange noises, and moving shadows were passed down through generations. Stories spoke of the spirits of knights who died defending their walls, ladies who never saw their beloved return, and prisoners whose souls remained trapped in dungeons forever. These stories not only terrified people, but also reminded them of the relentless struggle for power, wealth, and life. Additionally, castles were centers of intrigue and conspiracies. Hidden passages and secret rooms were used for clandestine meetings, storing letters with confidential information, and planning surprise attacks. Some royal families used secret tunnels to move unnoticed, while master builders deliberately created complex underground labyrinths to protect treasures from intruders. Thus, medieval castles were far more than mere fortresses. They were symbols of authority, centers of culture, science, and alchemy, as well as repositories of secrets and legends. Within these stone walls lay stories of bravery, betrayal, love, and the supernatural, stories that continue to captivate the imagination. In the following parts, we will explore the daily life of castle inhabitants, secret passages and traps, and the eerie legends of ghosts and hidden treasures. Life inside a medieval castle was both fascinating and harsh. Knights trained rigorously for combat, servants and craftsmen labored daily to maintain the castle, and courtiers navigated complex social rules to survive in the noble hierarchy. Every day was filled with duties, rituals, and routines designed to maintain order, security, and the prestige of the ruling family. The castle's architecture reflected both functionality and strategy. Great halls hosted feasts and gatherings, while kitchens and pantries stored provisions for months of siege. Guard towers overlooked the surrounding lands, ensuring the safety of the inhabitants, while hidden chambers and secret rooms preserved the family's wealth and important documents. Some of these concealed areas were so cleverly built that even trusted guests might never discover them. Secret passages were not only practical but also a source of intrigue. They allowed nobles to move through the castle unseen, to escape in emergencies, or to conduct clandestine meetings away from prying eyes. Some passages led to underground tunnels that connected different parts of the castle, or even stretched beyond the walls to secret exits in the forest. These hidden routes were carefully guarded and often known only to a select few. Daily life was also influenced by superstition and ritual. People believed in protective charms, sacred symbols, and the power of certain herbs. Knights and servants alike observed rituals to ensure their safety, and the nobility often sought advice from astrologers and alchemists. Castles were not merely homes. They were centers of belief, science, and the occult, where practical life intertwined with mysticism. Despite the strong walls and careful defenses, castles were never free from fear. Rumors of secret passages and hidden treasures stirred ambition, jealousy, and sometimes deadly conflicts among inhabitants. Servants could overhear clandestine plans. Rival nobles might attempt to discover hidden riches, and spies were a constant threat. These tensions added a layer of danger to everyday life, making every corner of the castle potentially significant. The castle also served as a cultural hub. Music, poetry, and art flourished within the walls, often influenced by the fear, mystery, and drama of daily life. Tales of ghosts, curses, and lost treasures became part of the cultural fabric, preserved in manuscripts, tapestries, and oral stories. Children grew up hearing these stories. Knights exchanged them in the halls, and visitors were warned of hidden dangers lurking in the shadows. In essence, life in a medieval castle combined security with suspense, routine with mystery. Every stone and corridor had a purpose but also a secret. The nobility, knights, and servants shared the responsibility of maintaining the castle while navigating its hidden dangers, rituals, and secrets. In the next part, we will explore the hidden passages, traps, and secret rooms that made castles both fortresses and labyrinths of intrigue, often filled with danger and treasures waiting to be discovered. Medieval castles were full of hidden passages, secret rooms, and ingenious traps, designed to protect treasures, prisoners, and the inhabitants themselves. Architects and builders used clever designs to confuse intruders and create labyrinths within the walls. Many secret doors were hidden behind tapestries, movable shelves, or false panels in stone walls, making them nearly invisible even to those familiar with the castle. Secret passages served multiple purposes. Some were escape routes for royalty during sieges or attacks, leading to forests, rivers, or hidden exits far from enemy sight. Others connected towers, halls, and storage rooms, allowing the movement of soldiers and supplies without being observed. These passages were often narrow, dark, and difficult to navigate, adding an extra layer of protection for those who knew the way. Hidden rooms were used to safeguard treasures, important documents, or even forbidden items like alchemical equipment or religious relics. The richest families went to great lengths to conceal their wealth, creating chambers that could only be accessed through complex mechanisms or secret codes. Many of these hidden rooms gave rise to legends of lost gold, cursed artifacts, and mysterious maps pointing to untold riches. Castles were also filled with traps designed to surprise or eliminate intruders. Some floors contained hidden spikes, pits, or sliding panels that could be triggered by careless steps. Arrow slits and murder holes allowed defenders to strike at attackers while remaining protected. Even kitchens and courtyards could hide mechanisms meant to defend against invaders. While these traps were practical, they also contributed to the mystique and fear surrounding castles. Legends of ghostly guardians and spirits are often tied to these secret spaces. Stories tell of knights who died defending hidden treasures, prisoners trapped forever in secret dungeons, and restless souls haunting corridors, warning or punishing those who dared to intrude. These tales blurred the lines between reality and superstition, adding a supernatural layer to the castle's mysteries. Some castles were used for clandestine meetings and conspiracies. Hidden rooms and secret passages allowed nobles to plan attacks, negotiate alliances, or hide sensitive correspondence. Spies and informants were a constant threat, and knowing the layout of the castle could mean the difference between life and death. The complexity of these underground networks made castles not just fortresses, but centers of intrigue, espionage, and power struggles. Thus, medieval castles were more than architectural marvels. They were living systems of secrets, treasures, and dangers. Every hidden passage and trap reflected the ingenuity and fears of the time, combining practicality with mystery. In the final part, we will explore the legends of ghosts, supernatural events, and the lasting cultural impact of these enigmatic fortresses. The legends surrounding medieval castles are filled with ghosts, supernatural events, and stories of treasures lost or hidden for centuries. These tales were often inspired by the castle's secret passages, hidden chambers, and the mysterious lives of their inhabitants. Over time, such stories became an integral part of the cultural heritage of the Middle Ages, captivating the imagination of generations. Ghosts were among the most common legends. People spoke of knights who died defending their castles, wandering the halls in armor, or of ladies mourning lost lovers who had vanished during sieges. Prisoners who never escaped their dungeons were said to haunt secret rooms, their cries echoing through corridors at night. Some castles were believed to be cursed, with entire families doomed to suffer the consequences of past crimes or betrayals. These supernatural tales often served a practical purpose. They instilled caution and fear, deterring intruders and thieves from exploring the castle's secret areas. The stories also reinforced the power of the ruling family, showing that the castle was not just a fortress of stone, but a place protected by unseen forces. Visitors, servants, and residents alike became part of a shared mythology that combined history, superstition, and imagination. Castles were also repositories of lost or hidden treasures. Tales of gold, jewelry, and sacred artifacts hidden in secret chambers sparked both ambition and greed. Some treasures were said to be cursed, bringing misfortune to those who attempted to claim them. Adventurers and treasure hunters over the centuries have sought these legendary riches, often inspired by manuscripts, maps, and local folklore. The cultural impact of these castles is immense. Artists, writers, and historians drew inspiration from their architecture, legends, and history. Tapestries, paintings, and literature preserved the stories of bravery, betrayal, and mysticism. Even today, medieval castles continue to fascinate tourists, historians, and storytellers, offering a glimpse into a world where mystery, danger, and grandeur coexisted. In summary, medieval castles were far more than defensive structures. They were centers of culture, intrigue, and mystique. Behind their walls lay secret passages, traps, hidden treasures, and stories of ghosts that continue to captivate our imagination. These fortresses remind us of a time when architecture, power, and legend were intertwined, creating spaces that were as much about mystery and fear as they were about defense and residence.